Hello, welcome to the Kristen Willow Show. I'm your host, Kristen Wolasanovich. So happy to be here. You'll have to bear with me a little bit with my voice. No big deal, a little smoke inhalation, pneumonia. It's okay. It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Honored and privileged today to be with the legendary Coach Linnell Jones-Mckenny. Ah! Jazz hands, everyone. Jazz hands, Zach. So, Coach, you go by Coach. Most people call you Coach.
Yes.
Sometimes I call you Coach Linnell. You are currently the Executive Director for the Salvation Army Life Center, correct?
Correct. Yes, that is correct.
But most importantly to me, you are Flint's legendary first professional women's basketball player.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I have goosebumps right now, Coach. 6-time Hall of Fame inductee.
Yes.
Recruited to play professionally. Let's start back. Ready? 1998, wink. 1976 graduate, Northwestern High School, go Wildcats.
That's right. Go Wildcats.
I'm a product of Northwestern Wildcat loving. My mom and dad went to Northwestern.
Wow.
We're kind of like family.
Family.
Had to play with boys,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Well, at that time, they didn't have girls' sports program at all.
Oh,
and that was in elementary school and middle school where I had to play on the boys' basketball team. Made the team in elementary school, started.
What year, how old were you when you started?
When I started, I was 8 years old.
Wow, 8 years old.
8 years old.
Were you tall?
No, I wasn't. I was actually probably the skinniest person in the school.
Really?
That was the time when I was heavily bullied for being skinny or whatever else they, picked on me about. But I still had that vision and that dream to play basketball.
Give me some names.
So
we'll find them. We will find them. Curse those boys for bullying you. But back then, that's what they did. And they weren't happy.
Absolutely, they weren't happy. And when I got to middle school, actually, they still didn't have a girls' sports program. So I tried out for the boys' team because that was my dream. My dream was to play professional basketball. And then they didn't have a girls' sports program. So for me to be able to make the team on the middle school team, I became the first female ever to play on the boys' team in the state of Michigan.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Zach, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Zach, you're going to have to pull your mic closer. Do we have to do a mic check with the producer? Or are we going to have to do some technical things? Do we have to revisit your employment plan? Love you, Zach. So for me,
Check.
Thank you. What are your thoughts? Can you believe it? And Flint is so well known. It's like the most known city
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. That's really cool, actually.
Bringing professional athletes.
Oh, yeah.
We're the highest city in the world, in the country.
Right, there's a lot of big players to come out of here and to compete on the boys' team. That's pretty big.
And
for sure.
And Northwestern, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're the first professional woman to come out of Flint.
Yes.
Basketball player.
Yep.
That's
First round, drafted first round, fourth pick.
First round, fourth pick.
Yes. First female to come out of Flint to play professional basketball.
I can't with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm in awe.
Yeah.
And so when you were being bullied and picked on at 8 years old into high school too, those are pivotal years, your most formative years.
Oh, for sure.
How did you handle it?
I handled it, first of all, it was in my math class that I was mostly bullied. And so.
Why math?
Yeah, math.
Those mathletes, because they're mathletes. They're nerds.
Yeah.
They can't. It's like Zach.
And what I would do is but at the age of 6, I knew that there was something different about my life.
You knew.
At the age of 6, I knew that I was going to do something great.
It was an 8.
I was just, it was on me. Mm-hmm. And then at the age of 8, I knew everything that I was going to be doing.
Wow.
Playing professional basketball.
You saw it.
Working with young people, motivational speaker, and building a youth activity center. So that's what my whole life evolved around.
And none of the noise bothered you. You kept the vision. You kept the laser focus.
In my math class, I would imagine myself traveling around the world playing basketball at the age of 8 years old. I would imagine myself. I would take myself out of that class and imagine myself. I would gaze out the window while I know everybody was talking about me, laughing at me, telling the teacher I was chewing gum, lying on me, telling me so I have to stay after school.
That happens that happens to all great leaders. Sorry to interrupt you, but keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And so at that age, 8 years old, is when I knew everything that I was going to be doing in my life.
Right.
And when I tried out for the basketball team and I made the team, that just kind of sparked. That was everything for me. That was life changing at the age of 8.
That was pivotal.
Yes.
What a pivotal moment for you. And then it was just full speed ahead.
Exactly.
So 1980 comes. It's the WLB.
WBL.
Oh,
Women's Basketball League. Yep.
I transpose that.
Yeah.
And it lasted for how long?
Actually 2 years.
2 years. Phenomenal.
Yep. When I came into it, it was the last year that they actually had. But prior to that, when I was at Kentucky State, now I'm 22 years old.
Okay.
And it was 200 and something girls that went to the tryout for the Olympics down in Colorado Springs. I was one of those 200 and something. Then they only picked 7, so I was one of those 7 out of those 200. And then they brought 20 All-Americans. I was a 2-time All-Americans. But these were the All-Americans that had been All-Americans for their entire college career.
Right. So this was a new All-American for you, a first.
Yes. So down in Colorado Springs, Colorado, now they had 27 girls. They was only going to pick 15 out of those 27. So I became one of those 15 that they chose for the Olympics in 1980. However, they had boycotted. Now, I'm 22 years old now, and they didn't start Title IX until my second year of college. I'm 22 years old. One of the coaches came to me. You know what she said?
What?
What's your dream? Now, see, my dream came about when I was 8 years old. I knew everything that I was going to be doing in my life. That was the dream of my life. At 22 years old, after being bullied, after being talked about and mistreated and disrespected, I held on to my dream. At the age of 22 years old, a coach came to me and she asked me, what's your dream? And the only thing I could think of was, well, I want to play professional basketball. I didn't know that they had just started a women's professional basketball league.
The timing was fortuitous.
The timing, yes, ma'am.
So then you go on. Then you play pro. It dissolves in 2 years, and then you head abroad, correct?
Yes. The same lady came back to me.
Oh, my gosh.
And she said...
I needed a lady like that.
And, you know, the thing about it is she was a coach out of Kansas, and she was one of the persons that really wanted to be able to make sure that those who she saw.
Right, she knew.
She knew.
She's not going to put back someone who wasn't going to.
It was only 15 Americans that they chose to go overseas to play in the European League, which was the only, at that time, after the league folded in the United States, that was the only league in the world to play professional basketball.
Wow.
15
Pretty
Americans.
incredible.
And I was one of those 15 to travel to.
Amazing. How long were you abroad then?
6 years.
And best time of your life. Like my assistant Lainey was over at Italy, so off camera you two were kind of bragging about it a little bit. It's okay. We're all friends here.
Yeah.
How it was like your best time of your life.
Yes.
And you agreed with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was my dream. That was that was me at the age of 8 years old.
What's your dream? You're achieving it.
Yes.
You're living it.
I'm living it. At the age of 8 years old, I imagined myself traveling around the world playing professional basketball.
You know what you did? You did the math.
Yeah.
Literally.
They were doing their math. I was doing my
your
math.
own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yours was
to travel around the world.
your equation was correct. They were wrong.
Yes.
And then, you know, you just have this extraordinary career. You're this profound leader and mentor with such a beautiful spirit. You bring it, you know, now your next step is to bring it home.
Yes.
And now share it and lift and leverage and empower our community of Flint, Michigan.
Yes.
So, woo, everybody breathe for a minute. Pretty impressive. I told you guys this woman is massively extraordinary. So you come back home. You were with Sylvester Broom Empowerment Center. You're now the executive director for Salvation Army Life Center.
Yes.
And I really want to jump real quick
Yes.
in the interest of time because I'm so passionate about Gus Macker. Like, next on our show is Eric Woodyard.
Yes.
And his son plays in the Gus Macker.
Yes.
And he's this up-and-coming great basketball player.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And I love, like last year, I got Sheriff Swanson to judge the dunk contest.
Yes.
It was epic because he showed and the crowd it was kind of quiet.
Right.
I
right.
showed, the crowd gets quieter. Whatever. Like, I can play basketball. I'm 5'2" white girl. I can do it. I can jump.
For
Just
sure.
don't, you get a whole piece of paper under my jump, but don't fold it in half. Sheriff Swanson shows,
Right.
It was awesome.
Yes.
This year we got some big names coming to judge. We're not going to give them yet.
Okay.
They have verbally approved. Eric Woodyard, just kidding, hasn't approved. Trying, but he's going to be watching his son play with little Momo with Mo Peep.
Yeah.
But what date is Gus Macker?
July 27th and July 28th.
And where is it held?
It's going to be at the county lot off of Beach Street.
At the flat lots, right? Where it
Yeah.
was last year?
So last year was at the flat lot.
Yes.
Because of the street constructions
Oh, I
continuing
see.
to go on. So
Oh,
we had
Jiminy.
to confirm the county lot, which is a block away.
Okay.
South and then a block west of Saginaw Street.
Coach, you're such a visionary. When are them roads going to be done?
I'm not sure. So I do know
I almost spit out my bad unhealthy drink.
yeah,
but-
that was one of the reasons why we couldn't confirm the flat lot, because the streets may not be complete by
Well,
the end of July.
Four or five times a charm. We
Yeah.
got this.
Yep. So
I'm not gonna lie, I stole a brick,
Yeah.
an OG brick. Swear to God, goodness. I was out downtown. I haven't been downtown in so long. Me and Lainey went. I went yesterday. I'm coughing. Sorry, it's just pneumonia. No big deal. And I hear Kristen. We went out. I hear Kristen. I'm like, I'm home. That's the night I stole a brick.
Wow.
I don't care, Sheldon. I don't care, Swanson or police chief. Find
my
me and coach.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so we talked about your dream life. We talked about your career. Gus Macker, give me the dates again. You guys need to sign up and get down there.
July 27th and 28th.
July 28th, excellent.
Yes.
And then how can we have information? Just
Yes.
hold it up,
Yep.
hold,
So we have Gus Macker, actually it's 610 Beach Street.
perfect.
Yeah, that is the address.
Yep, we'll get
And-
all that and we'll put it all on social media with this interview.
Yep.
And on our YouTube channel.
That's it. The MAC is back.
The MAC is
This
back.
will be the 4th year. Largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the world.
Okay, so I'm going to ask him to come on early. Will he come on early and talk WNBA for a minute? No? Yes, no? He will. He will. Hey, and we're back. And look who's joined the table, Coach. Your friend.
Yes.
We both are
Yes.
dear friends.
Yes.
Eric Woodyard, ESPN analyst for the Detroit Lions. Woo, Zach, woo! Jazz hands. Thank you, Eric Woodyard.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, you want me to redo that then? Okay, we're good. He'll edit all this. No, he won't. I'm gonna look stupid. Okay, sorry. So why I brought Eric on, because let me tell you about Eric's. We know his journey, right?
Yes.
Just persistence. We're doing an interview after this, so I can't go too deep with this because
Right,
I got to
right.
save it for his interview.
Right,
But
right.
persistence, M Live handling sports here locally in Flint. He's a Flint kid, raised in Flint. Moves on to ESPN, right? Sorry, I'm going to talk to you and brag about you for a minute. Gets the NBA. What team did you have in the NBA?
I started with the Utah Jazz.
And then did you move to another team in NBA?
Yeah, I had the whole Midwest region of the NBA. So I was living in Chicago, but I was following the Milwaukee Bucks,
I feel-
Pistons, Pacers,
Yeah. Keep going.
Bulls.
So I feel I like to brag about myself, but I feel very inferior with these two. But that's fine. I'm still going to forge through this, Zach. I've got this.
You got
Eric
this.
and I have been dear friends for years. He's been on my show for years. So I'm very familiar with his career. He says, well, I have an interview with ESPN, lands it, gets the NBA. For how many years did you spend in the NBA, covering the NBA?
It's probably like maybe 2 or 3.
2 or 3, and then I talked to him. He said, I'm being moved to football. Who'd you get? The Lions. I said, oh, pal, I'm sorry. When was this? Like 2 years ago, right? 2?
No, it's about to be 4. This is the
For
fourth season.
Fourth. So
Wow.
imagine 4 years ago, he says, I got the Lions, and I said,
Right.
Oh, buddy, you're in my prayers. But did you have the intel knowing what was coming, or maybe not at the time?
Just being in a position, covering sports for years, is just like you can feel when something new coming.
Yeah.
So you can kind of feel
Coach
the energy that
we all.
kind of like a gut feeling that Dan Campbell would start something different at Brad Holmes. So just like I don't know, the start of something new. It just felt like it was new and fresh. I couldn't really say like.
So we're gonna pause that because that's for your interview, and what an incredible season! Congratulations,
yeah,
sir.
Congratulations.
But now I want to transition talking about the WNBA to both of you, and what your thoughts are. I can talk, Coach. I'll start with you.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Caitlin Clark? I'll start with that.
Well, we've had a lot of Caitlin Clarks.
I agree.
And
100.
But social media, everybody all over the world now knows what's going on.
Right. Why is she such an outlier? Eric?
It's just certain people have a different type of electric energy to them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really teach star power. Like, you look in boxing, Gervonta Davis might not be the best boxer, but he got star power. Some people just got the ability
Like
to punch
Muhammad
out.
Ali. He had both,
Yeah.
the talent, but they've
Right.
got the talent and then they've got the presence, right?
Oh, for sure.
Well, and I think Angel has it,
I started back watching women's sports. I had stopped watching.
and you're
But
back.
I started back because of the South Carolina, I think it was South Carolina, LSU, then whatever that Final Four was a couple of years ago. That brought me back. And that actually brought me back to wanting to see Caitlin out on the court.
Right.
But I want to let everybody know that what caused the WNBA to be more highlighted now
Yes, ma'am.
is because of the social media. 10, 15 years ago, we had Cynthia Cooper, we had all of those other players
Right.
that would have had just as much notoriety if we had
She had that.
social
We had
media.
social media, but we just didn't have such. I mean, we were in its infancy. Now
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
so massively
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Angel Reese too. What are your thoughts on Angel?
Well, Angel is a different. She's just a different type of athlete. I mean, she's not that athlete that everybody want to see. Shoot the shot or whatever. She's that Dennis Rodman type.
Isn't she like Bill Lambier?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's
like
what she is.
Like Rick Mahorn. She's like that. I get
Yeah.
that vibe too.
But she's also the person that does multiple things that brings awareness to her style of play as well.
So they just had recently a flagrant foul she did going up for the ball. They went to slow-mo, said she hit her in the head. Whatever, I don't care. I do care, of course I care.
Right,
But my thought bubble on that is, are they amping it up right now? I mean, are they playing are they doing a lot for the cameras? What are your thoughts? I'll start with you, Eric, on that. You can talk to that.
I think it's just basketball at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They're making a bigger deal out of it because
Than
of who
what
they
it
are
is.
and the college rivalry they had and all that. But at the end of the day, if you play ball, it's gonna be tough.
It's
fouls.
rough.
They just dissecting every little thing with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all that now.
I love their press conferences because Caitlin always takes the high road. Sometimes I want her to go, yeah, that was bullshit. But she doesn't. She's like, that's basketball and,
Right.
comes with the territory. Yeah, I got thrown in the stands and got my arm cut off. But,
Right.
you can sew it back on. It's cool. And then Angel, I love her rawness
Right.
and her authenticity.
Yeah.
I think she skipped the PR last time.
Okay.
Then you have to pay a fine. But
Right.
I love them both.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's good for the sport.
Yeah.
It's definitely good for the sport,
Yeah.
But I like the fact that those young ladies are handling it because it could be a lot of pressure on you with the whole world saying, one minute they saying,
You're the GOAT,
and then the next
right?
minute they're
You're,
telling, so I
you
like
know
how
that
they're-
feeling.
Yeah.
You're either you both know it.
Yeah. So
I
like
know it
they're
to a
handling
degree,
it.
right?
Yeah.
You're either
Right.
glorified or you're vilified. There's
Right.
no in between.
Right.
And you better have thick skin because this
Right.
game, the game of
Absolutely.
life is not
Absolutely.
easy.
Absolutely. So they're on that platform, but I think they're handling it.
I do too.
Yeah, I think they're
I'm just so
taking
excited.
advantage.
I'm hoping Eric gets switched from the Lions to, I'm hoping Detroit brings back the Spark. I'm just kidding. I'll cover the, Coach will cover the Spark. Look at me. I know nothing about basketball, volleyball, softball,
Right.
basketball.
Right.
Like, and she's got the ball. Dribbling. Nice job. So, you two, what Coach, we omitted the earlier was in Italy they built. Go ahead. What did they build?
So my third year, they had to build a brand new arena because of the participation of the whole city being involved in the team.
Sure.
Viterbo, Italy is where I
Who
played.
did they name it after?
So it's the Linnell Jones Arena. Then they have
No big deal.
Linnell Jones Day where they bring me back, and celebrate for a whole week of celebration. So, but it was so amazing to live in Italy. They are so appreciative of when you're there and your heart is there. I was in the community helping, do work with the kids in the community as well. But that was a time that's just one of my dreams.
Love that.
It's just one of my dreams.
That's why I said it's such an honor and privilege to have you on the show. You too, I love and adore you, but what's your thoughts on Coach Eric?
Coach Linnell? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Even
No,
back-
extraordinary.
Yeah, definitely. I remember, even years ago being a kid, and I don't even know if you remember. I want to say you came and spoke to our class about dreams, and I remember you having a column in the Flint Journal, being younger. Yeah. So, she always has been a pillar in the community. And, I even told my son one time, I said, ask her how many points she scored in the game. And he went up to her, and she had 80-something, before Kobe back in the day. So,
she's LeBron, she's Michael, really. She's Jordan, I feel. Well, whoever you think the best is, that's up to all of you.
Right,
but
right.
Kobe too, 80-plus points in a game.
Right, 84 points.
But
Look, Kristen, 84.
I think more than basketball,
Unbelievable.
though, we live in a city where a lot of negativity is glorified, and she always been a positive. Like everything coming out of her mouth has always been about dreams and positivity, and putting positive energy in the air. So
And
I always appreciate
what a
that.
privilege she came back home. She could have went anywhere. She came back home. Why was it so important for you to come back home?
At the age of 8, that another dream was to come back and help our young people be able to dream.
At 8,
It's about the dream. If every kid on the face of this earth had an opportunity to dream, what a wonderful world this place would be.
That's your purpose for you to be able to dream.
And the late C.S. Mott invested
He's incredible.
in the after-school programs, community ed, Flint Parks and Rec, Flint Olympian Games. We could go anywhere in the city of Flint and play basketball, football, whatever it is that your heart desired.
Right.
We could go anywhere because of the investment that he made in the city.
And that's generational.
Exactly.
Ridgeway's giving back
Exactly.
100%.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you're able to carry the
And
baton.
that's why I have that vision and that dream to give our generation, this next generation, to do the same.
The hope. I think you both are. Like you living in Chicago now, in Detroit, you come home a lot. Your son's here, and you are such a pillar for Flint too.
Yes.
And you bring both of your messages
Yes.
that you bring back. You're both phenomenal leaders, and I just met you, but I feel like I've known you my whole life. I've known you, I feel, my whole life, and what an honor and privilege to have you both on. So
Well,
thank
it's been
you.
a pleasure. I love
Thank
sharing.
you.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Oh, are you kidding me? Thank you, guys. We are all in, our jaws are dropped. I told them, you know me, how I am, Eric. I like to roll just with the punches and roll my show because I'm quick on my feet.
Yeah.
But I did my research on you, and I went, oh. So, Coach Linnell Jones-Mckenny, honor and privilege. Get to Gus Macker. Check her out at Salvation Army.
Yes.
Google her is all you need
Yes.
to do. And then watch for the preseason we've got, Detroit Lions.
Yeah, coming soon.
Oh,
Training camp.
gosh, look at that smirk. Can you imagine? This is going to be a year, isn't it?
Oh, I believe it.
What a year for both of you. It's going to be tremendous. And based on the community of Flint, because I am Hope for Flint. I am the Hope for Flint. I'm not. I am. That community's tough. You say New York City, you can make it there. No, you make it in Flint, you can make it anywhere.
Right.
That's for
Right,
sure.
for sure.
If you were a Flint kid.
Yeah.
So congratulations to both of you and bringing it back to the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Love you both, truly. And thank you to our viewers and listeners, and as always, to my producer, who I'm nothing with, Zachary. I really am nothing with you. And to Lainey, thank you, and his beautiful better half, Celesta, the dream team right here.
Wow,
This right
the
here,
dream team.
this is Caitlin and Angel. This right here is the dream. And Dan
team.
Campbell.
Everybody
This
got to
is
have
it.
a dream team.
Yep, we got them all. So thank you all so much. This has been the Kristen Willow Show.